The Boston Celtics caught fire tonight as they beat the Miami Heat 143-110 in a fantastic shooting night in which the team shot 64% from the field combined. We saw a great performance from a plethora of Celtics, 7 Celtics in double figures, and we're going to be breaking down some impactful moments from tonight's game. Also be looking at Kristaps Porzingis' injury that he suffered, and we'll be looking at the estimations on that as well. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we get into these post-game analysis and breakdown of this Celtics versus Heat game, I would like to remind you guys that roughly 80% of our viewers are not subscribed, and would greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We're getting closer and closer to our goal of 4,000 subscribers, so if you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Boston Celtics content and coverage, hit that subscribe button, as you definitely will not regret it. But let's dive into this post-game analysis and breakdown of this Celtics blowout win as the Celtics absolutely caught fire. Make sure to grab a snack, as today's episode is going to be a jam-packed one. And like I mentioned in the intro, the Celtics secure a 3-game road trip with 3 nice wins. They took on the Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks in Texas earlier this week in a nice back-to-back, secured both of those wins, and then got a nice blowout win versus the Miami Heat. This game was fantastically played by the Boston Celtics as they realistically were on fire for most of this game, keeping this game at an arm's length for a majority of it. In the second quarter, the Heat were able to bounce back a little bit, but the Celtics were able to keep that game in distance going into the third and fourth quarter with phenomenal performances from everybody on the team. If we want to look at the team stats, like I mentioned, the Celtics shot 64% from the field, 63.8% to be exact as a team, which is absolutely fantastic. Compared to the Heat's 44%, this is something ridiculous and something that you don't really see ever in the NBA. The Celtics also shot 55% from 3. The offense was just clearly clicking tonight. 95% from the free throw, only missing 1, which is fantastic to see as well. The ball was just falling in the basket for the Celtics. 47-31 compared offensive and total rebounds as well, shows that the Celtics weren't able to secure a lot of offensive rebounds, with Bam Adebayo being a big offensive presence on the glass for the Miami Heat, with the Celtics having almost double the defensive rebounds in 41 compared to their 20. The Celtics also out-assisted the Miami Heat in getting 10 more, 4 more total blocks, less steals than the Miami Heat, and more turnovers, but 8 more points in the paint and 2 less personal fouls. The Celtics were struggling with points in the paint compared to the Miami Heat early on in the game. The Celtics were mainly getting their points from the 3-point range, but later in the quarter, Jaylen Brown started attacking the rim more. We saw some attacks from Kristaps Porzingis low in the post before he went out, and it was looking great for this team. Like I mentioned, though, if we want to look at this Celtics team, as you guys can see, everyone got some run tonight for the Boston Celtics. It was fantastic. 15 total guys as the Celtics had their full roster ready to go. But as you guys can see, the Celtics were led tonight by Kristaps Porzingis, who was very effective from the field. Before going down with that ankle injury, he was tremendous. Plus 26 in total tonight and plus minus 19 total points, 5 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, hitting some big impactful threes back to back for the Celtics in the second quarter with 4 total rebounds and 1 assist. Jayson Tatum led the team in scoring with 28 total points, 7 for 15 from the field, 9 for 10 from free throw, 3 for 7 from 3 with 8 total rebounds and 4 assists. Jrue Holiday had an effective game as well, 17 total points, 3 for 4 from 3, hitting some impactful corner threes and shooting great tonight from the field, 7 for 8 with 5 total rebounds and 5 total assists with 1 block. Derrick White was hot on to start, kind of slowed down for the Boston Celtics later on in the game. 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3, but 6 total rebounds and 2 blocks was an impactful piece for 15 points. And Jaylen Brown doing Jaylen Brown things, working very hard on the defensive floor, guarding Jimmy Butler for a majority of this game and putting in that hard work, but also doing stuff for the Boston Celtics on the offensive side of the ball. 7 or 11 from the field, 4 from 8 from 3, with 4 total rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 18 total points. Like I mentioned, the Boston Celtics had most of their guys, almost everybody on their roster play tonight as it went very, very deep into the bench late in the game as the Celtics were blowing up this Miami Heat team. But some very, very impactful pieces on the bench tonight were Al Horford, 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3 with 7 total rebounds, 6 assists, a block, and 8 total points. Payton Pritchard also had a great game from the backup point guard position, and who's really started to click and getting into his rhythm now, which I really like to see. He was doing this in the preseason. He's finally getting comfortable. 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. We want to talk about those 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 11 total points with great defense. But the main guy I want to talk about from this Celtics bench is Luke Kornet. 4 for 4 from the field, absolutely perfect. 4 for 4 from free throw with 5 total rebounds, 1 total assist, and 12 total points. He was doing it all for the Boston Celtics, getting plays right to him, finishing underneath the basket, and being in the perfect spot in the perfect moment for the Boston Celtics. We also want to highlight Jordan Walsh, who actually got his first road minutes of the year against the Miami Heat. Only 3 total points with 1 rebound and 1 steal. Did look off a nice shot, and that is something that you want to see from Jordan Walsh, as he's kind of that intangible guy, that guy that's going to kind of do everything for the Boston Celtics and be that, epitome of a role player. And I want to see him grow into that type of role for this G League team and see him have, not be selfish with the ball. And that's perfectly great, fine and great to see. Even in his first experience with minutes, he's not being selfish. So in the future, it's going to be looking great for our addition of Jordan Walsh. If we want to look at the Miami Heat, obviously Terry Rozier just recently was traded to the Miami Heat, ex-Boston Celtic. Did not have the greatest night tonight. 7 total points, 3 for 10 from the field. Jimmy Butler, 7 for 11 from the field, predominantly guarded by Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown did an effective job, only allowing 17 points from him. Haywood Highsmith had a good game, 4 for 4 from 3, 100% from there, with a total of 14 points. Tyler Hero, 50% from field with 19 points, and Bam Adebayo working down low in the post. The Celtics never really had a solution to Bam Adebayo. Celtics were able to prevent Bam Adebayo from scoring in previous playoff runs. He put up 19 points versus the Boston Celtics, but he usually does his own versus the Boston Celtics. No big performances from Duncan Robinson or Caleb Martin tonight. 2 for 8 from 3 from Caleb Martin, 2 for 12 from the field. They definitely were trying to get him involved, as he is known as notoriously as the Celtics killer. Now, the news that we want to be breaking down is Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis suffered an ankle injury in this game, where late in the third quarter, he jumped up for a ball with Bam Adebayo, landed on his foot, and suffered an ankle sprain. He had to be helped to the locker room, was brought back to the bench, and was totally fine. Not seen in a walking boot, was seen walking alongside the bench, and was comfortable with no ice. It's looking like it's going to be a successful thing for the Boston Celtics, as a lot of Celtics fans, and myself including, desperately gasped when we saw that reaction to Kristaps Porzingis. Now, hopefully, Porzingis can rest this ankle. The Celtics have already been very precautionary with Kristaps Porzingis and his injury so far since they've obtained him. Obviously, dealing with his plantar fasciitis back in July. He sat out of the FIBA World Cup. Then he had his calf strain. They've been monetizing that a bit. So now with this ankle injury and having all these little minor injuries, tickering and tackering around, the Celtics are definitely going to be very cautious with their big man in Kristaps Porzingis, allowing him to rest that ankle, making sure he is totally fine. Could he be out a couple games? Could he be out a week or two? We'll have to wait and see. The reports will definitely be coming out in the next couple of hours and days, and we'll definitely be breaking that down for you guys here on Celtics Digest. But let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this great game, as the Celtics had a fantastic shooting night versus the Miami Heat in a game where the Heat are a little bit of our rivals, Eastern Conference Finals back-to-back seasons. The Celtics definitely have a little bad blood versus the Miami Heat. So this was a great bounce-back win, especially to have against this Heat team, to show them that we don't mess around and that the Celtics are definitely here to win a championship. Even losing Kristaps Porzingis for a quarter did not slight the Celtics at all. They were still in this game, and they were ready to go, led by the fantastic performance from this great basketball team. The Celtics get ready to take on the Los Angeles Clippers on Saturday. We'll have more news to break down Jayson Tatum All-Star stuff. We'll have more news to break down the Kristaps Porzingis injury, and much more to break down for the post games. So if you guys want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Celtics content and still aren't subscribed at this point of the video, we know you guys enjoy that content. Hit that subscribe button, as you definitely want to stay in tap with this Celtics news. I'm Bruce Veliz. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.